So we've arrived in 5 Points. This is not an active real estate transaction. We are here just to explore and see what you do and how you do it.
This one had a lot going on. The roof is probably 25 plus years old.
Yeah.
Electrical system needs some updates. You can see just by standing here in the front porch is kind of sagging.
Yeah.
Across the roof there, probably an addition that wasn't done correctly. There's quite a bit going on up there.
Yeah.
So I think once you see it, you'll understand what's going to be in my report.
Yeah, let's do it.
With this roof, you can see they actually did, when they installed it, a good job because of this low slope here. See how the exposed shingle is narrower? When you have less pitch, you have to overlap the shingles more. So they actually installed it the right way. They just installed it a really long time ago. Right here we have wind shingle. So if you can see this tear in the shingle, I mean, that's just so brittle, it just wants to break. We want to take a look at this area. So now you can see some of the floor, some of the roof decking.
Oh yeah.
So there's probably, over the years, been some debris in this valley. And then what it did was it piled up here at the end, and you can actually see this hole. You said you saw water in the kitchen area, and so then there's all kinds of fun stuff in there. This is not a roof that's worth patching, and that's something that you have to look at. If a roof has maybe 3 or 4 years of life left, and there's $2,000 worth of repairs on the roof.
Yeah.
Is it really worth putting those $2,000 worth of repairs into a $10,000 roof?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to forego that repair and just come in with a full roof replacement. That way everything's at the same timeline.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about damaging areas around where you're repairing. So left this up here for just a minute to see what our temperature reading is. We're at 118 degrees right now. It is only 10:15 and it's already cooking. So the question we get a lot of the time is, can we do an inspection late afternoon so I can be there after work? And frankly, we don't really want to go on this roof much after 1 p.m. All right, let's check out this electrical situation.
So is the electrical panel typically in the kitchen?
No, typically not in the kitchen. You're supposed to actually have 3 feet of clearance around the electrical panel. When this home was built, it likely didn't have electricity.
Is there enough space that if somebody wanted to add an HVAC, like a central heat and cool?
So right now you have 2 spaces open, but the number of spaces doesn't always indicate how much capacity is left.
Okay.
If you added up all of these breakers, it's going to equal more than 100 amps. But not all of these breakers are used at one time.
Sure.
So there is both space and capacity to add central air to this.
Okay. Yeah, so this looks like it needs to go somewhere, but I see a cap there.
Yeah, so not sure who did that one. They must have run out of pipe, and but that's actually a safety valve. If the water heater's ever not functioning and the pressure gets too high, it's supposed to discharge out that valve. I don't want to know what would happen if it tried to discharge right now because they put a cap on it.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is probably a rental house.
Probably so.
Okay. Do you find that with rental houses or investment properties that you find these things more often, just people cutting corners and not to code, whatever?
They want it fixed or installed as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And pulling permits definitely isn't on their mind.
Right.
And they're gonna take the first person that answers their phone. So this person obviously had never installed a water heater before, or at least not the right way.
This was not done by a licensed plumber because a licensed plumber wouldn't put
They wouldn't put a cap on the temperature pressure relief.
They would maybe be concerned that they'd lose their plumbing license if somebody found out that they did this work.
Yeah. I'd be afraid of another plumber coming and seeing that I did this work.
Yeah.
Did you see the landscaping in the kitchen, Ben?
I love that.
We've got
natural.
Some vines coming in here.
It's our own little garden conservatory.
We've actually got a little greenhouse effect with that window there. And another thing with these older homes, once you start really getting into them and seeing the different layers, I'll show you in this room. So you can see 1, 2, 3 layers of different building materials. And then if you go one layer further, they actually used old newspapers to insulate. these walls. A little tighter than normal up here, but I was talking about the roof decking, and we've actually got 3/4 inch thick roof decking up here. That's how they did it when this home was built. But if we look over here, you can see where some of it's come loose. Right in here, you can see these boards are just kind of falling in. It looks like there's a piece of wood that's missing there. So we like to check the underside of the roof. In these older homes, there's a lot of little surprises like this, where they didn't even use wire nuts. They just kind of twist the wires together and hope it holds. But it's important to check out the attic to see what's going on. We're about 96, 97 degrees right now, covered in fiberglass insulation, so it's fun.
Oh, geez. Snake's gonna jump out any moment. You are not getting in there.
You or me, Ben?
There's no way.
So we're down here under this one, and you can see a lot of these wood blocks just kind of resting on bricks, which isn't the appropriate way to do that. There's a little bit of termite damage.
So you get a lot of phone calls. Maybe it's a buyer that's just shopping home inspectors. Maybe it's a seller that wants a pre-inspection before they go on the market. What do they ask you most often?
Really two things. The first is always, how much is this? How much do you charge? Mm-hmm. And the second is, how soon can you do it?
Yeah.
A lot of people think we just show up, take a few pictures and leave, and don't really ask what's involved in a home inspection. So, but I want to caution everyone before picking a home inspector just based on a $25 cheaper price to start asking hard questions so that you know what qualifications that home inspector has to look at the home you're about to purchase.
Right. Again, Nathan, thank you for taking half a day to do this.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that consumers know the reasons to get a home inspection.
Yeah.
And what to look for both in the home inspection and the home inspector. How can people find you?
Well, my business name is Huntsville Home Inspection. You can find me at huntsvillehomeinspection.com.
Okay.
Super easy to schedule. I've got an app right on the website.
Yeah.
People can click on it, see my availability, and just schedule an inspection just that easily.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks again,
Thanks.
man.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
All right.